But I want to talk about Odell Beckham for a little bit because Odell Beckham Jr., he's been injured, he's had ups and downs, and he's been known as this drama queen around the NFL from his days with the Giants. So probably that's the reason why he hasn't acted out on the Browns. He hasn't come out and, spoken publicly. He hasn't thrown temper tantrums on the sideline. He hasn't shown that passion. But his father posted a low light of Baker Mayfield basically not throwing to a wide open Odell. And when he did throw to him, just throwing complete ducks. And the highlight is on YouTube. It shows like 4 games of it. It looks bad.
Did he delete the Instagram post or no?
I don't think he deleted it.
I was going to say, because
he kept it up.
Hours after I saw it and I went to his page and still saw the
Browns
clips.
Receivers liked that post as well.
Oh, jeez.
LeBron James came out and said free OBJ. John Moran even came out and said free OBJ. So everybody's coming out saying free OBJ.
I got no problem with LeBron saying it.
Yeah, of
that's
course.
Odell's boy. His dad put an 11-minute video is kind of crazy.
Crazy?
Yeah.
Or real?
It's just, if Odell really wants to get moved, he should have done this weeks ago so the Browns have time to trade him. Now they don't.
But I feel like it's been like an undercover thing that he wants out.
The Browns should have been traded him because him and Baker don't mesh.
A team would have taken on that salary though? Because
he has no guaranteed money after this year. So they could have. I mean, obviously you have to pay his salary this season, but after that, if you get him this year, he doesn't play well, you could cut him, and that's it. You free up all the money.
But what do you think about this situation? Because I personally, obviously, it's an indictment on Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, he's holding the Browns
been
back.
In question.
I know, but
he's holding the Browns back.
He is, but Odell's the only player he doesn't mesh with. Like, obviously, Baker's not a top 10 quarterback in the league, but he's not. If he was as bad with everybody how he is with Odell, Case Keenum would have started a year ago, even though it wasn't on the team. But you know what I mean? Like, a backup would have started by now. It's just his connection with Odell, for whatever reason, it doesn't work.
Baker also was the number 1 pick overall, so I feel like obviously he has a little bit more leniency than any other quarterback that would stink it up. But at the same time, how many times have we seen Baker Mayfield just not be that dude?
I mean, there are plays where Odell is the first read and he's wide open and Baker doesn't throw to him.
Wide open with yards.
Why is this happening? Why is Baker not passing it to Odell?
I feel like how many conversations have we had that Baker Mayfield, for some reason, whenever Odell's not on the field, he thrives. Last season was his best season, obviously, since his rookie season.
And Odell wasn't on the field.
And Odell missed basically the entire season. And they almost went to the AFC Championship game. And Baker had a bunch of very impressive throws. He made Donovan Peoples. Excuse me, I'm blanking on
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Not Donovan
Rashard
Peoples. Rashad Higgins. Rashad Higgins was solid last season. We haven't seen him almost at all this year. And I spoke to a little bit on the last time we spoke football. Baker Mayfield has had chances to shine this season and get his team the win, and you just can't rely on him in certain situations. That game against the Chiefs, opening weekend, he should have secured that game by far. They have the best rush, one of the best rush offenses in the league. They should have put that away. They let the Chiefs come back on them, a Chiefs team that we've seen what they are. They really aren't the best as of right now. And the one opportunity that he had to win the game for the team, he completely folded. Threw an interception, he looked terrible. So it's not the absolute first time or that Baker's been in question, at least this year. Looking back prior seasons, his second year he was significantly worse than when he was in his rookie year. Off his rookie year, they thought that the Browns made the genius pick.
Freddie Kitchens was terrible.
But at the same time, you look at that video and you truthfully just understand what Odell is going through. He's got yards of separation. He's sitting in zone coverages, wide open, by himself, no defender near him, and he's just not getting the ball. The perfect game to think about is the one against Minnesota. He had 2 touchdowns, not 1, 2 touchdowns with at least 3 to 5 yards of separation, and Baker
which is wide open in the NFL.
And when you're Odell, that's all you need.
Yeah,
and he completely underthrew him.
Yeah,
both times. So it's, to a degree, do I agree with what you're saying about his dad posting in and being a little bit over the top? For sure. But when there's a 10-minute long clip of highlights like these, I can understand if it was like a minute, 2 minutes max type video where he's just, little mistakes. Because then you could be like, listen, he's nitpicking here. 10-minute long video of what? How many second clips?
Yeah,
at
short.
most 20?
Yeah.
There's about 6 plays. No, I wouldn't say 6. There's about 4 plays every game where Baker misses Odell, and it's every week. And I feel like that video going viral is dispelling a narrative about Odell right now.
That's a fact.
That he's washed Because if you watch that, Odell is not washed. He's not producing. He doesn't have the stats because of Baker. But if Baker was finding him, we'd be talking about Odell as a top 10 receiver in the league right now in terms of yardage this season. If Baker was connecting. So I feel like that narrative is getting dispelled that Odell is washed. And I think in a different situation, he could thrive. The Saints are looking at him right now if he gets released. I forgot who else is looking at him.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. Henry Ruggs. We're going to talk about that.
Listen, he goes to the Packers. Things get scary. I'm serious. Him, Rodgers, Devontae. Because then who you obviously are going to look at Devontae Adams way more. So what? You're going to have Odell Beckham on an island by himself?
Would you pick the Packers to make the Super Bowl to win it if they have Odell?
I can't.
Not over the Rams?
They'd be third in the NFC for me.
With Odell, they got to
third over who? Who's your top two?
Rams and Bucks.
Okay. Yeah.
Ooh, no Rams. Oh, you said Rams and Bucks.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear the cards. That's why I guess that's what I was looking for. Without that defense, without a healthy defense from the Packers, I'm still unsure. Obviously, we got to see Jair come back. Smith has to come back. But they played excellent against the Cardinals without majority of their guys.
Impressive wins by the Packers in a
Matt
while.
LaFleur. His play call was good.
He's him.
Matt LaFleur.
I'll give him his respect, but at the same time, as long as you have that bad man on the field, this game upcoming will be indicative of whether Matt LaFleur is really like that.
Do you think Rodgers gets suspended because of this whole COVID, I'm vaccinated, but he's not vaccinated? I can't believe the league or the team, I don't know how exactly it's run, but how do you not have to show proof of vaccination? Because he's on the sideline, he's in meetings, he's at press conferences, no mask on. There's no way the NFL is like, oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers, go ahead and do it. So either he lied to everybody, or I mean, I don't think he's showing them a fake vaccination card, but
he said
something's going on.
He said he had another form of immunization.
Yeah, and he asked the league.
He went to Canada, right?
He asked the league, oh, can this count? And they said no.
Somebody tweeted that Aaron Rodgers is an atheist and he doesn't even believe in science. This guy's unbelievable.
He's definitely a unique character.
Yeah.
I mean, people talk about like his family life and how he's not even close with his family, doesn't talk to them at all. So it doesn't surprise me that Aaron Rodgers is doing some out of the box activities, especially when it comes to things like that. I mean, I'm being nice. He's a legend. I got to respect him. But at the same time, he shacked a fool here. And bro's on the COVID list, and now he looks even worse.
So what do you think about Odell, though? Do you think that Odell still has what it takes to be one of the better receivers in the league, like a top 15, top 10 receiver?
Go ahead, Joe.
I think ideally he's a number 2 on a team. I don't think if he could really go out anywhere and be the number 1 and command 10-plus targets a game, he could go to the Jets. I think a 1A, 1B situation would work too. Do we think he's significantly better than Corey Davis?
I do.
I don't know about that.
I do.
You're low on Corey Davis,
He is
you
low.
absolutely loved the Corey Davis
I
signing.
like Corey Davis, but I think he's a low-end 1, high-end 2.
Which is what I think Odell is about now.
I think Odell is better than Corey Davis.
But that's debatable because I just feel like there's like Odell came back this season after missing an entire last year, missed a few weeks this year with a torn ACL, and put a 5 for 80.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like he still has it in the tank. I don't want to sound very mean to Baker, but at the same time, it pains me to watch him sometimes because dude just is so hit or miss. Some games, like against the Chargers, he's otherworldly. And then other games against Minnesota, a defense that has been pretty lenient and giving up points to the quarterback, he folds. Only scores what? 14 points total?
Is Odell better than his teammate Jarvis Landry, his best friend?
That is like, as at this point in time, 100% I'm taking Odell Beckham. Now
Jarvis is the number 1 though.
And it's because Jarvis and Baker have a connection. For some reason, Odell and Baker don't click. If Odell went to Indianapolis with Carson Wentz, that would be extremely intriguing.
You need some kind of other weapon there.
I love that because the Colts have had a receiver problem for a while that they have failed to address. They know T.Y. Hilton gets injured all the time.
I'll give respect to Michael Pittman. He's been balling.
Michael Pittman was a great pick. I wanted the Jets to draft him.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
I loved him in the draft process. T.Y. Hilton gets injured every single season, yet they brought him back. You know he gets hurt all the time. Odell could be that deep threat because Michael Pittman, he's a possession receiver. He could go deep as well, but he's not a burner. He's not a burner. Michael Pittman is a possession receiver. He has great hands, though. He can catch over the top, but he's not a burner. Odell can be that deep threat that can, have defenses uneasy. And, you're going to keep a safety over here because that's Odell. I don't think people are keeping a safety over the top for Michael Pittman. And that's where I feel like the Colts offense is a bit limited because Their receivers are who? Michael Pittman, if T.Y.'s not out there where he usually is, and it's Zach Pascal.
I was going to say,
like,
Paris Campbell
who's
too.
there? Like, they only had 3 healthy receivers last game. You know, like, they've had this problem for a while. They're legitimately a receiver away from being a dynamic offense.
Yeah, you bring in Odell into that group of guys, especially the way that offense has been running.
With Jonathan Taylor.
And the fact that they've been running JT out of the slot, too.
Which is what they
Frank
been
Reich
doing, but yeah.
has been doing some genius things this year. And obviously it helps that Carson Wentz has obviously had a renaissance in his game once again. But if you looked at the Eagles last year, sure, Carson Wentz looked bad, but it was a lot of overcompensation for a team that really wasn't that good. Now you see him in an actual offense that is providing him with time in the pocket, a chance to scramble outside and make some plays. You put Odell into the mix, things get interesting.
Where else would you like to see Odell go?
At this point, he needs to go anywhere but Cleveland. Like, I know I said he's not a crazy upgrade over Corey Davis, but it's a Baker Mayfield issue. I don't think it's a talent issue for
With
Odell.
Zach Wilson, I would love Corey and Odell with Elijah Moore.
Put him in the other New York squad.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think he goes there just for that reason. Actually,
he's
You know
going to
what
go
I
to
think,
contender.
though?
If he gets released, he's going to go to contender.
I like the Saints, but I only like the Saints if they get Phillip Rivers or Cam Newton.
I don't
want Odell to be with Trevor Siemian.
But I don't want him to be with Phillip Rivers or Cam Newton because then he's not going to get any big plays over the top.
Yeah, I don't think the
I don't
Saints
know.
are a good fit for him.
Yeah,
Because
you're right.
I still
but
can see Odell Beckham being a deep threat. I've seen it this year where he has the corners beat, and he's just not getting the ball in spots where he can actually make a play.
the Raiders would be good.
The Raiders would be a
Derek-
very good
Raiders
spot.
would be very good, but at the same time, that offensive line still sketches me out. But
Yeah,
I
but
do
Derek
agree.
Carr's having a
Derek
great
Carr's been
year.
great.
It
He's
was
been great.
reported that Baker Mayfield, the Browns are comfortable with paying him $30 million a year and extending him. And would you do that? Because I think that Baker Mayfield, he's a good quarterback. I don't know if he's a franchise quarterback. I think he's a filler. In a couple of years, we're gonna talk about Baker in the same light that we talk about Teddy Bridgewater.
Ooh, that's rude. But I understand where you're coming from. You know what I mean? You can't. If I'm the Browns, he's the first quarterback that come into the room and has changed the franchise. Do I think that it's in credit of him fully? Probably not. But do I give him some credit? For sure. I mean, you don't come in and come to one of the worst franchises, arguably the worst franchise in the NFL, and make them a respectable team and not have any kind of praise to your name in that sense. But in terms of a consistent basis, and now you're actually a premier team and people are actually starting to look at you as one of the top dogs, you start to get scrutinized a little bit more for your play. So him becoming Teddy Bridgewater, I don't know. I feel like a little
bit better.
I think he's better than
fair.
Bridgewater,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't want to pay him $30 million. But
No.
what other choice do you have?
You're saying Odell or you're saying
No,
Baker? I
Baker,
thought you were
yeah.
saying Odell was getting $30 million.
No, Baker.
No,
Baker.
Yeah, you don't want to pay him, but
have to.
You have to.
You have to.
Because you don't have another choice. The Browns have gone through their whole franchise history without having a quarterback, and Baker's probably their best one.
And you know what I think it is also? I think that sometimes teams mess up by getting rid of a quarterback too early and not having a backup plan. For example, the Rams, they could have gotten rid of Goff a year or two earlier, but they saw their options and said, we don't have any options right now, so let's wait it out. We're going to pay Goff, even though we paid him.
Goff was also phenomenal, though, the year he got paid.
He's like, we're going to pay him.
Yeah.
But when a guy's available like Matthew Stafford, we're going to get him. So the Browns have to be looking at that like, okay, we're going to keep Baker, but as soon as a guy's available that is a definitive upgrade, we're going to go get him.